Hello, my name is Silicone or Hida and welcome back to my channel. I'm a creative being and a mess of an artist and I take you along onto my art journey. In this video I will talk about AniMany, which is a con that happened on the 17th and 18th of August in Siegburg, to be more exact in the Rhein-Sieg Forum. And while I will talk about AniMany, I will just draw something because I barely filmed anything. I didn't have much to prepare but to make some buttons since it was the convention after Dokumi and I still had quite some stock left over. So let's get started. Since it was a usual 2-day event over the weekend, we drove there on Friday to already build up the base of our tables and then also go shop and check into the Airbnb. On Saturday morning we finished everything, we made our tables look very pretty, but unlike other conventions, we were not sitting next to each other, which can happen. It happened already previously at Konichi in 2023, which is fine, we usually manage, but this time it was even more different. We applied separately for AniMany because that's what they asked us to do, that's how they have their rules set. So while I got accepted, he got put onto the waitlist. And due to that, I was also sitting in the artist alley. Later he got an opportunity to also join the convention, but there was no space within the artist alley, but they had a countertop which they use as a table in the cellar in front of the toilets, and he got offered that spot instead, which he took. It was planned for him to join me anyways because due to the driving and the stress I still like to have someone around me, also because it was around 2 hours away from his place still, so he took what he got. I don't know if he got a price reduction due to the spot, but he got a spot. And he was sitting in the cellar between a travel agency and another artist. So he wasn't completely alone, but it was rather strange to see him there. Also, why I say countertop instead of proper table is because I think for events that's where you would go to give up your bags and jackets and people take care of it then while you are at the event in that building. So it weren't proper tables. Yet it still worked out and he managed to build up his table, but he had to build rather into the length than towards the back because they weren't really deep. One might think that this was a bad spot for an artist, but let's be real. If you're at a 2-day event, eventually you have to go use the loo. So many people would pass there. They would go downstairs, go to the loo, and when coming back, they could have a moment to just look over his booth and the other artist's booth and not be stressed about it. Also, for some reason, cosplayers always walk in groups, so if one has to go to the toilet, they will bring their friends with down and they would just wait there, and in the meantime they could already look over the table. In addition, he was underneath the room of the artist alley and the stage. That means, well, I got blasted with a lot of music and loud noises and talking. He was sitting there rather quiet, which is perfect if you want to talk to people and sell things. The artist alley was very loud due to the stage and also very warm. It was warm enough that I would be sweating constantly, but as soon as there was some wind coming in, I froze. It was very hard for me to keep up a proper temperature, and that's also probably the reason why I felt sick and why I started to have a fever on Sunday. So throughout the day I was not feeling well, I was very warm, and on top of that I was working at the artist alley non-stop without really being able to take a break because If I had my boyfriend sitting next to me, I would have been more at ease, while him sitting so far away, that was very stressful because I had no person to find comfort and talk to, and also maybe just sit on the floor for 5 minutes while he would have an eye on the table. And also, if something happens or is needed, he knows where my stuff is. If I would ever have to leave my table, I know that I can leave my table to him and he would manage. So the stress, the overstimulation and the heat was not nice to me, and I was sick for 1.5 weeks after that because it triggered my wisdom teeth. That's something that can actually happen under stress, and that was not nice. My whole mouth with the gums were swollen, I couldn't eat properly, and I was in such great pain. It was unbearable, and I also had to take antibiotics at some point, and I truly wish nobody to go through this pain. But I still have my wisdom teeth in there, and since then my mouth just feels odd and is sometimes still in pain. That's not great. On the stage they constantly had some kind of program. Either they had some singers on there or some panels with voice actors, which was very nice. They had a fledged out program, and if there was nothing going on, they had anime music playing in the background, which was also nice. It was very nostalgic, but it was still very loud, and that made it at times very hard to communicate with people. Also, all people were super friendly, very nice, very chill. I even got a cold pack from a family, and it was just so sweet because I had something that helped me a bit to regulate temperature and to stay a bit cold when it was very warm. It was just so cozy and I loved it. And also all the other artists were so vibey and friendly and cute, and I enjoyed it so much as well. It was really a great artist alley with a great mixture of artists. But due to the pain and me falling sick, I think I just had a very hard time to be properly social with them as well. I think I was also a bit anxious, also due to sitting alone. It was just a lot for me. The only thing that broke me on stage was the very loud German rap music about anime stuff. Like, I don't like that genre, and it was just so over the top, and I was just so done when they started and throughout them rapping and all. It was really not my cup of tea, and I was just so happy once we left and we could go. Next to the stage and the artist alley, they also had an 18 plus area, which I love to see at conventions. I love when they give artists that cannot show all of the things at a normal artist alley a spot to be able to do so and just share adult content as well, because it is so important as well. It is part of our life, it's nothing to be ashamed of, and everyone can appreciate adult content in some form. The location they had was also very nice. I enjoyed it a lot. It was easy to find, easy to reach by car, and also the parking was right next to the hall, which I love. I love when I just can park there, take my stuff out, and don't have to worry about the rest. The organization was also very nice. The talking via email was very nice, and I didn't have many conversations with them, like just the basics, and they were also around in case you needed anything. For my finances and how much I made at the convention, that will be now a bit tricky because due to me not feeling well, I had some trouble to keep up with it and note it down properly, why I will mostly talk with estimates of prices in regard of my costs. So if it is a bit off, that's why. But we had an Airbnb for 2 people for 2 nights, and my part was 74 euros. Then we had to get there, and I paid the full amount of the gas, which was a full tank of 50 bucks. And then the table, for my table only, I had to pay 129 euros. which came with one ticket for myself as well. With food, my boyfriend paid some of it, so it is a bit hard to track down how much this was. Then again, I paid the amount of gas for both of us, and this gives me a rough estimate of between 253 till 300, which is already quite an investment. From my sales throughout the 2 days, I made 819 euros, which already reaches my first goal of making around 400 per day. But if we take the costs off of that, I get an amount between 566 and 519 euros, which is alright. I am very happy with that, but it was quite an investment with costs. So on that regard, I wished for a little bit more due to the size of the convention as well, but it is fine and I'm satisfied with it. And I would also go back to that convention. It was easy to access, it's not too far away, I still made my money, it was worth my time. I just hope next time my body will not act up and try to end me afterwards, because this pain was insufferable. And yes, this has nothing to do with the con, but the stress it put onto me, also with the loud music, was just too much. But yes, this was it about AniMany. It's a rather short video. It's not as fully fledged out as other videos I made about conventions, and it's mostly also just to give a little heads up, to give a little update about this convention and talk about it. It's a great convention, I'm very excited about it, and I'm very excited for another edition of it. I also know that they have a one-day event shortly before New Year's Eve, but that's too stressful for me. I'm at the end, I finished my main convention season now. The only event I still go to is Weihnachtsmarkt at the 1st of December, if I'm not mistaken. It's the first Sunday of December, and that's where I go with my leftover stock. I will do nothing for it, maybe a few buttons, I will see about it, but it's really just one day, pretty local, go there, set everything up and sell my leftovers before I have a very big stock up in December with stickers, keychains and standees. First time I plan on making standees, very excited about it. So if you want to see more about it, stick around, subscribe to me if you enjoy this kind of content and just want to see my art and my journey and whatever I share with you on here. At the moment, still many convention updates that I have to edit and upload here, but there will also be a sketchbook tour soon, because I'm about to finish my big boy sketchbook I currently have around, and I plan on finishing it by the end of the year. But yes, that was it for this video. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know down in the comments. If you want to support me, I have a Ko-fi where I also upload things I not necessarily upload anywhere else, like me working on my comic at the moment and new design ideas, item ideas for my table. And if you want to commission me, I also take commissions at the moment, since there is not much going on in regard of conventions. And for the rest, I wish you a good day or night wherever you are. Bye!